Dan from MWG, or Niceguydan8 is my in-game name, and I'm here to go over a game of Swain. Swain's my favorite mage. He's more of a bruiser mage, not bursty, but he actually does a lot of damage over a very short period of time. But he also does, a fair amount of damage over a long period of time, as long as he's not killed. He also turns into a bird, which is pretty awesome. Anyways, I'll go over my runes and masteries. I don't play mages a whole lot, but this is my mage page for the most part. Run magic pen marks, 9 of them. Run 9 greater seals of armor. This is for trading. You could go mana regen on Swain, mana regen yellows, but his passive gives him mana for every last hit he gets, kind of like a Karthus Q sort of, except I think it's not as much mana for Swain. You could do that, but I'm confident enough in my last hitting that this will help me from auto attack harass. And then I take a mixture of magic resist per level and flat magic resist. You could take armor or ability power per level. I'm assuming I'm going against a mage, so that's why I do this. Although you see a lot of AD mids, and this is blind pick, so I don't know. But you could go ability power per level, but I prefer the mitigation. That's just my preference. And then I take ability power quints. Masteries, I use 2190. That helps me last hit earlier, which gives me mana. The cooldown reduction is nice. This gives me a little bit of damage boost to my ability power and attack damage whenever I use it. I'll usually try and use it a little bit earlier so that I get the ability power for all of my rotations. My spell rotations. It doesn't always happen, but that's ideally what I like to do on actually most champions. This is just your generic mage page. And then take the flat health per level. This is nice because Swain's generally a tankier mage than most. So the health is nice. I take the magic resist. I put 3 points in magic resist because I'm assuming, again, probably a poor assumption with all the assassins, but it worked out. I'm assuming I'm going to face a mage, so the 5 magic resist plus the flat magic resist gives me probably more mitigation than most mages would have. And then I just put 1 point in armor because it's 1 point. I didn't really know what else to put it in, and you have to have that point to get the health. So anyways, let's get started with the game. We have a Swain, Tyrant Swain nonetheless. This against Beast, Malphite top, Graves, and Janna bottom, as well as a Shaco jungle. Cassiopeia is my mid lane. Varus bottom, Rumble top, Nidalee is supporting, and Lee Sin's jungling. They actually have a lot of magic damage, aside from Lee Sin and Varus's his Q, I don't remember what the name is, Piercing Arrow and his Hail of Arrows, those are both physical, but his ult does magic damage, and his Blight does % health magic damage, % max health nonetheless. So, I picked into a Cassiopeia pick, which is not good. She will beat Swain if it's played well. She out damages him, and if she catches him in a stun, she can kill him with Ignite. That's Swain's big problem. Well, one of his big problems. It's not a problem if you play around it, but if you get caught with a mage that can burst him down, or a mage that significantly outranges him, then he has issues in lane. But other than that, he's really hard to push out a lane after level 6, especially after he gets a blue buff and a catalyst. Swain's going to go nowhere in lane. He also snowballs fairly hard. He becomes really hard to kill while still doing a lot of damage with his ult, does healing. So I guess we can just go through that. You already saw his passive gives him mana. His Q is a tethered slow, so kind of like Morgana ult has a leash tether range. This just has a bird that shows up and then it slows them and does damage over 3 seconds. So that's that. This is his snare. Does 96 damage right now. Snares them for 2 seconds. I think its range is actually pretty far. It's farther than anything in his kit. Don't quote me on range though, I don't know it for sure. And this is his Torment. This is what I level first. If you're invading, I would almost always level never move first. But it's a dot that does damage over 4 seconds. They take 8% more damage from Swain for the duration. This applies for every single ability in his kit. It applies to auto attacks, it applies to DFG, it applies to Ignite. So The DFG actually, the new DFG wouldn't be terrible. I just don't know where to put it. I mean, it amps the damage from. Well, I actually don't know if it stacks, but it amps the damage from. It would amp the percent health damage, and it would also possibly like double amp his damage because of the new amplification on DFG. So I don't give Shaco a leash. He said they didn't need one, so whatever, just go farm. I picked Boots because Cassiopeia is a skill shot champion, and this will help me avoid her skill shots. She goes for more of a sustain route, which is she gets the flask, the flask ward. Whenever I can, for Q's down, I usually just try and harass her a little bit, throw an E at her when she missed her Q. The E is deceptively strong in lane for harass. If you can land it for free, it's pretty damaging. Swain's like level 2 through 5 are really strong for trading. If you can land your ability, the big thing is landing your abilities or landing your snare. It's good to walk in ways that a Cassiopeia will not expect you to walk to dodge your abilities. Often she'll try to, like right there, she landed her harass on the minions and on me, which is what she'll like try to do a lot. Shaco calls for a gank, but I'm not level 2, so I don't have, or not level 3, so I don't have a snare. Shaco goes in. She burns her flash, just harass her a little bit. Now I'm level 3. I have my snare. I haven't leveled it yet, but just last hitting under tower, she pushed me in. That's another big thing with Swain is you can get pushed in really easy. She doesn't actually take advantage of that. She runs out of mana fairly quick, and when following up with a gank on Swain, you have to be really confident in your snare, or put them in a position where she cannot dodge it. So I'll slow it down. Shaco blinks in, and I actually flash for this kill, and I put it in a spot where she basically can't dodge it, especially with no flash. So then I just unload it. Probably didn't even need to ignite her, but whatever. First blood for me. I wanted the kill. No offense to the Shaco, he did a good job, but I wanted the gold. So now I am ahead of the lane. I don't end up going back, although I probably should have, because I assumed at best she would get either an amplifying tome or boots, and I still have 2 pots left, and I also have 5 more CS in it right now. So I am ahead in the lane. I think I hit. I have a pretty. Yeah, I basically have a full level on her. I thought about going back, but I didn't, because then that's when I realized she probably didn't have anything that would give her a huge upper hand in lane, especially with my level advantage, and I can just keep farming. This Lee Sin probably should have ganked me, although I think about going back again, but I don't really know why. So I max my E first because it's really, really good for trading. If this Cassiopeia was pushing me like she did at like level 3, then I probably would have ended up maxing my W first. So she lands 2 of her abilities on me, and I basically out-trade her with just my E because I'm a level up on her and it does a lot of damage. The amplification goes up per level too, so it started at 8, now it's at 14. So I think it goes 8, 11, 14, 17, 20. I misclick there, just go ham on that minion. Get that CS. Lee Sin gets a kill up top. I think Shaco ends up dying too. Let's see how Cassiopeia, she's actually leveling her Q first. It's good for wave clearing, but she's not abusing it. I think she should. No, well, she kind of is actually. She ends up going in for a trade on me right here actually. Well, yeah, it is right here. And I give her a full combo, and I significantly out-trade her. Even with a creep, she has a creep advantage. Oh wait. Nope, never mind. This is not it. She actually out-trades me there because I missed my snare. She played that trade really well. And I did have the creep damage, so I was mistaken there. It happens in a little bit then. Right now, I have enough for my catalyst. I don't know why I didn't get it. I pay for that in a little bit by not shopping. He did not surrender. I'm just trying to last it at tower, getting that mana. The tower is kind to me. The mana sustain is nice. Basically, for my E, if I kill 7 minions, I get it for free, and that's without mana regen at all. Like my, built-in mana regen. So that's just farming away, being fun. I have my ult now. Cassiopeia's level 5, like pretty fresh level 5, and I am almost level 7. Malphite he's actually beating Rumble in CS. I'm not exactly sure why he built that. This is kind of this is where I pay for not shopping. If I would have had my Catalyst, I don't think I would have died here, but I know Cassiopeia's there, and I think she's gonna ult, so I turn to the side. Lee Sin's maxing Q, so I actually take a lot of damage. But I'm pretty sure that I can go 1-for-1 with Cassiopeia. Or not 1-for-1, I can trade kills with the Shaco. He ends up dying, but it's not ideal. Cassiopeia picks up 8 kill, so she's kind of back in the lane. I still have a lot of CS on her, still have like 20. There's my poor dead body. And there's Lee Sin, he's going to steal my red, or sorry, my blue. And Janna knows it. Graves does not. Graves is sitting there. When you see something like this, please go help your lane, or please go protect your jungle, especially this Lee Sin. 250 health, and this Graves was farming. Like, he ends up killing her. But Graves ends up getting the kill. He ulted and then kicked her. He ulted and then hit the Q. So Graves got the kill. He apologized for being late. This Malphite doesn't ult soon enough, I don't think. I think he ends up dying. Yeah, he does. Yep, he's gonna die. He should have ulted like now, but he waits and dies. So, all planned. Anyways, I'm back with my Catalyst and Magic Pen boots and 1 ward. This Lee Sin hasn't really ganked me. Not sure. Cassie, like the lane hasn't been pushing too hard for most of the time. So we're both level 7. She definitely came back. She's building, rushing and hunting guys. Definitely not bad. I don't think it's stupid at all. She tries to trade with me here, dodge her Q, and then I just destroy her. I basically take her from 100 to 25%. If I had Ignite up, I probably would have been able to kill her. One thing I do with Swain a lot is I just flash on top of people. If you can, like if your Q's up, sometimes I'll just flash on top of them and Q them to slow them. Gives them a gives me a longer range of tether and a longer duration of the slow for more damage. I think Swain is a champion that in order to do well, you have to play aggressive and to know when to play aggressive. Because if you just are reckless with Swain, you'll die, get behind, and then Swain's not the best champion to play when you're behind. Although he does have pretty good utility. Cassiopeia got her blue. Shaco took his blue. I'm not exactly sure why. For anyone watching, please give Swain blue. Unless he's like bad or built. If he rushes a tier, then he probably doesn't deserve blue. Because please don't rush a tier on Swain either. I don't think it's good. Bottom lane, there's stuff going on. I'm pretty sure I knew Cassiopeia was going down there based on the map position, so I walk down there. Cassiopeia gets a kill. I see Cassiopeia has double buffs. This is why I kill her instead of Aris. Because, yeah, I know she has the double buff. Janna didn't need to use exhaust there. She was dead. I know that Lee Sin is right there, so I bait it because I see Graves right there. And I'm pretty sure Lee Sin thinks he can kill me. I know Varus is Oom, so I just I don't kite him, but I just I run away from him, and I do damage. I'm pretty sure I could have just turned around and killed him. I don't know. If Graves was there, he could have. I think he dies anyways, actually. Yeah, he dies. Graves kills him. But, yeah, so that's that. Swain's actually deceptively tanky with his ult on. Like he's not super tanky, but he can survive a lot longer than you'd expect. Oh yeah, his ult heals. It is a he turns into a raven, and then 3 ravens fly out and do damage. And then it heals him for 75% of the damage done to champions and 25 against minions. So basically, once you hit like rank 2 of your ult, and I max my W second for the wave clear. Once you hit that, you can start wave clearing pretty well, but before that, unless you max W first, it's not, the wave clear's not that good. Which kind of means your roaming isn't that amazing, but this Cassiopeia doesn't punish me for maxing my E first, which is fine. I just like Emax for the it's not as beneficial as like leveling your W for pure damage, but it amps everything. So while you're not leveling up your base damages on your skills, you're still getting an amp for all of your other skills, which is why I like it first. Let's see how much money I'm sitting on right now. I'm sitting on 1,500 gold. My first first item is almost always a Out of Ages. Italy gets blown up. Cassiopeia, we can slow this down. I know she's gonna scream, so I walk away. Scream, use her ult. I walk away, start auto attacking her igniter. Think, yeah, he dies. It's not the best trade, but that's the thing is you have to do as a player is understanding, like, people will give tells when they're gonna use something. Like, that was a really good spot to use the Cassio ult, and I knew it was, so I made it less than favorable for her to hit both of us. And that's just something I'll pick up over time, probably. So she has her Leandries now. She's actually not doing bad. I would say I'm still doing better than her, but I'm pretty sure I have more gold than her throughout the whole game. But yeah, she's actually, for losing to me 1v1, she's actually doing well in team fights, which is another thing. Is if you team fight well, you cannot be you can be the laner that isn't as good, but as long as you team fight well, you can come back. I do that with a lot of Jarvan games that I play, and I don't really play a lot of Swain anymore, but I decided to do a video because I barely ever see him played. I think he's actually better than a lot of people give him credit for. He's obscenely good with Leandries, which I end up building. I'll explain that in a little bit, but now she's starting to push me, and this is when I'm like, yeah, I definitely need to start maxing W for sure. Trying to last it on her tower. Look at King. Yeah, Shaco took his blue again, I think. Yeah, he definitely has blue. I don't know why, but I see that there's action going on bottom. I see Lee Sin. They know I'm coming down. I know that if we have a 4v4, or sorry, I know that Varus is not there, but even if we did have a 4v4, I know that we'd be able to win, as long as Cassiopeia didn't land her ult on like 3 of us. But I just go back, because I saw that Varus wasn't there, and then I told them to leave. So I just start pushing back. I'm up on Cassiopeia by basically 30 CS right now, which is pretty significant. I shouldn't be. She should be destroying me, but I've also played the lane pretty well. Graves gets a double kill. Cassiopeia, which gives me more tower damage, which is nice. I'm going up to kill Rumble. There hasn't been a lot of action top lane so far. I haven't roamed up there at all. But he has a ward in the tri-brush. I didn't actually know that, but he was pushed out far enough where I could just, if I could get my Q on him, he'd probably die with his health. So he runs away. I see him going in that brush, and I know he's trying to go in there to kill that Malphite, go 1-for-1, but I just kill him. The thing I'll do with Swain a lot is if I face check a brush, I turn on my Raven form before I go inside the brush, because it's not channeled like a Fiddlesticks where you channel before you jump in or something like that. If you turn it on, the enemy has no way for you to turn it off unless you run out of mana. So if I walk into a brush and I'm stunned with my Raven form on, I'm still doing damage, but I'm not I'm not just sitting there. If I walk in there without it on, I'm just sitting there not doing damage, taking damage, as opposed to, you know, healing and doing damage. So that's the thing that I usually do with Swain. And I'm not afraid to face check, because unless there's like 4 people in there, I have my Rod of Ages done. I'm actually pretty tanky for a mage. I mean, I have 1800 health and this Cassiopeia has 1400, so I have 400 more health. It's not even done ticking yet. Rod of Ages gives you 20 health, 20 mana, and I think it's 8, maybe. Let's see how much ability power it is. And 2 ability power each time, up to 10 times. Swain is really, you should almost always get this first. Rod of Ages gives him 650 health, 650 mana, and then 80 ability power, which is, like, those are all things that he needs. He needs the mana, he needs the health. Well, he actually doesn't need the health, but it's good if you want to be more of a bruisery, which, in my opinion, is the best way to play him. I see Lee Sin walk through that ward, and I see that Cassiopeia left, so I know that they're going up for that counter gank, so I follow them. And Cassiopeia, I know she's gonna probably be right there. She kills Shaco, gets stunned. I snare her, use my EQ, and just sit on top of her, and she dies. That's the power of a Swain that's ahead, is he will just, he can walk at someone and kill them. I built a Haunting Geist as my second item. I think, if you want, I don't think an Abyssal Scepter is bad as a second item against this team, or a Zhonya's if you had more of an AD team. Frozen Heart's actually a good item on Swain too, but I prefer Zhonya's. With Zhonya's, you can hit it, and if you're in bird form, your birds will still fly out and do damage and heal you. So you get 2 seconds of free healing where, you know, you can't be ignited. Yeah, and this is, I walk through an area that's not warded, and I see Nidalee go up to ward it, or maybe she throws down a trap. Let's see what she does. Oh, she's gonna go ward, and then she sees that I walk through there. I know that she's gonna do her cougar and jump, so I try and lead it a little bit, and she feels the wrath. And as you can see, I barely took a third of my health in damage. But yeah, Zhonya's is good, Frozen Heart's good, Abyssal is good, Rabadon's is good, but I think Liandry's on Swain is just stupid good. I don't have it yet, but I'll explain it when I get it. Right now I'm up by about 40 CS on Cassiopeia. She actually has 7 kills. She's doing well, especially compared to the Nidalee's 1 and 4. Lee Sin's actually doing pretty well. Varus, he's doing okay. I get the impression that Graves is a little bit ahead. Oh, never mind, he's significantly ahead. He's up by 2k gold. Oh, he has 6 kills, duh. Yeah, he's ahead by a lot, and he actually has a lot of gold. Well, I guess they both have a lot of gold. But he has an Infinity Edge. So I just farm. I'm not actually CSing like incredibly well, but the important thing is if you're getting kills and you're making plays in other lanes, that's good. But as long as you are out CSing your opponent, then whatever. I think it's fine. I know I don't CS well in general, but as long as I can do better than my opponent, it's fine with me. I think we going for a gank. Nothing really happens. We're up by 2k gold right now, 2.3. So we're ahead by quite a bit. Not game breaking, but they could definitely turn it. Dragon's up. I think we end up going for it. Not positive. Shaco is going to try and gank, so I try to throw out a blind snare. I don't like throwing out blind snares like that. I usually like baiting cooldowns and, you know, going in. I try and bait a gank or a Cassio roam here. I had a ward right there, so if she would have walked by, I would have seen her, and I could have either followed her for the counter gank or straight up just killed her. So now she's maxing. She has her Q maxed and her Twin Fangs. She's maxing her Twin Fang second. Lee Sin's coming up for a gank. I see him. I actually bait this. I think Shaco misplays a little bit here. But Lee Sin misses his Q. He gets hit with a Cassio snare, and then I kill Cassiopeia. So we go 1 for 1. I wish this Lee Sin would have stayed, because I would have killed him too, but he doesn't. Poor Shaco. Again, that was another situation where I knew the Cassio ult was really favorable, but Shaco did not obviously make that. Did not make that analyzation. I wish he would have connected that Q, but whatever. He's actually smart about it. Now I'm layering points into my Q and my W. If you get a full duration Q, it will do more damage than your W will, because it's 3 seconds. The AP ratio is actually higher than it is on W, because over 3 seconds that's an extra 150 damage from my AP, and this is only 118. But the slow also gets better, and I'm at the point where wave clearing isn't as big of an issue, so I don't really need to max it. The one good thing about, well, another good thing about maxing W second or first even is the cooldown gets lower per level, which is nice. So now I'm getting my Landry's. I guess I'll go on this for a little bit. 200 health, 70 ability power, magic pen. The health is good on Swain, ability power is good on Swain, and magic pen is good. Makes everything he does, you know, tick for more damage. Anyways, the passive though is obscenely good. Each spell damage burns enemies for, I guess I'll just pause this and talk about it. Burn them for 5% of their current health as magic damage over 3 seconds. So that is dot damage. And it's 5%. So every time you do magic damage, it does like a fresh tick, right? It's kind of like a Teemo poison almost, where every time you auto attack you get a fresh tick of his poison. But the thing with Swain is he does so much magic damage over time, where he can be doing magic damage all of the time, and every single time it does that one tick, it will do, it recalculates that health. So it's not you just going through your combo and getting 3 or 4 ticks of this. Swain can get this tick like probably 10 times in a team fight, where the damage just starts really ramping up. And on top of that, it does double damage if their movement is impaired. So that's stun, snare, slow, probably a fear, but most champs with a fear probably wouldn't buy it. But anyways, yeah, so Swain has his single target slow and his snare. So anyone that gets snared is gonna get the tick doubled, and it's half duration for multi-target or periodic effects. So his snare will have half duration, but you land that and you start ticking. You go up onto them and you're doing the double damage. Then you go up to them, you throw your E on them for the damage amp, and now the tick is like it does damage over 4 seconds. So you're ticking with the 20% amp on that tick that you have on Landry's, and then you hit them with your Q, and now all of a sudden that damage is doubled. Plus your amp, like the dot just gets unreal with Leandry's and all of his dot damage, and every bird it sends out, it does that calculation for his ult. I just think it's really strong. I don't think people realize that yet. They get a double kill top. I flash. I don't even need a flash, but I would have killed him. I misclick. Pretty sure I misclick. Yep. Because I'm a good player. He would have died, but I misclick like a king. Malphite has an Abyssal Scepter. I think Abyssal Scepter at least against double AP is like a must-have on Swain. I build it anyways because of the stats. They have a lot of magic damage, like I said. I don't like Spirit Visage that much. It's okay. It's certainly not bad, but I just don't like it. Cassiopeia almost kills Shaco, but he runs away. She flashes. If she didn't have flash, she would have died. Yeah, so I build one anyways just for the stats. That's that. I now have, so now his, now this is, the amp's at 20%, so I'm doing basically 400 damage, it's 20% amp on that, doing 380 with a 20% amp on that, and then doing 115 every second with a 20% amp on that, on top of 110 with a 20% amp on that. This is all single target, but still. I come in and just try and kill someone. I think I missed the snare. I'm not sure. I probably could have went in and killed, but yeah. So Lee Sin is taking a. He's got a Warmogs, and he probably took like 40% of his health. I don't know. I took 1,000 damage and I don't even think I unloaded a whole lot onto him. But we come back in because Shaco's here. If I get the feeling that Cassiopeia is going to come back, so after I miss that snare, I leave. Because Cassio, we don't have Graves. Cassio actually could have turned that with a good ult. There's a lot of laughing going on. Like a king. Shaco is being a beast. I guess we can... Oh, yeah, they take a free dragon. We should have contested this, but we don't. If Cassiopeia would have got caught in that, she would have probably died. Swain's actually pretty good at catching people out. He's not, I mean, you don't necessarily want to catch a bruiser or something out, but if you can catch a mage out or something with your snare, it's a pretty good indicator for like, hey guys, we can go in on him. And with the slow Swain he's good enough at sticking to people. So yeah, I was saying DFG is probably good. I don't really know where I'd put it. Maybe as like a 5th item or something, but it gives him more burst, gives him another nuke. And also, I wonder if the damage amp doubles from his E and the DFG. I'd probably have to try it out, but what I don't think Rylai's is good. I think Rod of Ages is almost always better, since he already has a slow and a snare, and his birds are not single target, so they will. Rylai's has either a single target slow, which is a greater slow, I think it's like 35%, or it has an AoE slow, which is like it's half that, so 17.5. So it only applies a 17.5% slow, which isn't terrible, but I just think Rod of Ages is a better health item, and I'd rather just build Mitigation, Abyssal. I just like the utility of Abyssal and like Zhonya's more so than a 17.5% slow on all abilities, except for his. I think it's all of them. I think dots also only apply the 17.5%, even if they're single target. So I'm not a big fan of Rylai's. What else is there? Yeah, DFG seems okay. Not a Woda. I don't like it at all. Pretty sure everything only applies the reduced spell vamp, and I don't know. I just think there's a lot better options than Woda and Swain. So now we're up by 2,400 gold. And Varus just got a kill. Varus is unstoppable. I think Shaco ends up killing him. Yeah, Shaco gets that kill. So my E did about 500 damage to him. This is a fight that we have where Rumble engages when he shouldn't. Cassiopeia doesn't have her ult. Lee Sin hits a Shaco, gets baited. I hit the snare and then tries to kick us away. He dies. I don't know how I didn't kill him, but Malphite takes a lot of damage. And Rumble tries to go back in on him, but then Malphite ults. He basically gets a full Swain Malphite combo and G to the G. My ult is now level 3, so now it's basically 140 damage. And oh yeah, also the reason you want mana on Swain is because you can have it up as long as you want, as long as you have enough mana, and it increases by 7 mana each second. So 25, 32, 39. Every second it gets higher like that. So you can't have it on forever. So that's why having blue buff is almost a necessity, as well as having at least one mana item like Rod of Ages. That's why Frozen Heart's good on him, because he gives mana and you can stay in the fight longer, as well as with any sort of sustain or even a health shield, the more mitigation you have makes that more valuable. So let's say you have a, this heals, let's say Swain gets healed for 100 health and he has 0 armor. He's getting healed for 100 health and that's it. As opposed to if he has getting healed for health and getting healed for 100 health and he has 100 armor, that it's going to be harder for them to do physical damage that's equal to the healing of 100 health than it would be when they have 0 armor. So that's why I prefer mitigation over just stacking health. Especially also on a champion like Cho'Gath, he gets free health on his ultimate, so I don't see much of a reason to stack more health when you could build a Frozen Heart and a an Abyssal Scepter if you want, and then just you get more effective health that way as opposed to just stacking health. And this is pretty much the same with Swain. The sustain is more valuable when you build resistances as opposed to just flat health. And I think I just end up killing this Rumble. He's at full health, but takes a few tower shots. Oh yeah, I think I get my Q to slow him for Malphite to catch up to him. Tries, and there's not much he can do about that. Malphite didn't even have to use his ult, and he just got a full combo. They go in, Lee Sin takes a nice hop. And I think the game, I don't think the game's completely over, but we have a pretty significant advantage right now. And, we're ahead. This is some King ZZ Top, just FYI. ZZ Top's the shit! So we should be probably just pushing objectives and stuff, but we're not. This is random 5s where teamwork doesn't happen. So yeah, I think Swain's okay top lane as well. I should touch on that. Swain does well against bruisers, some bruisers, and as long as he's not behind, he can sustain through bursts, like I said, a lot better than a lot of assassins. So yeah, Swain the only problem with him top lane is he doesn't have an escape, unless you can use your snare well. And the reason why Swain works well against bruisers is if anyone gap closes on him, he can just throw his snare right under himself, and then just that's that. And then they get stunned. So Janna ults. I'll pause that. So Janna ults and knocks everyone back like that. Malphite misses the ult that would have hit 3. I missed the snare that would have hit 3. Janna said well, we healed you guys, or I healed you guys a lot or something like that. But whatever, not a big deal. We won the fight anyways. Rumble thinks he's gonna kill me, so I just turn around and kill him. He takes a lot of damage. Shaco's there too, but I probably would have killed him alone. Everyone else kind of just dies, and then I think they surrender. Yeah, they surrender pretty soon. Catch the Nidalee. Yeah, so that's that. After this, I probably would have built the Zhonya's. Probably would have gotten the armor portion first, because, well, like I said, the longer Swain lasts in a fight, the more damage he does, so the more mitigation I have, the better, in my opinion. So that's all. We won. That is my Swain video commentary. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the MWG page. I will link it in the Facebook, I will link the Facebook link in the video description, and let me know if there's any way to improve this or anything you dislike about it.